Giant snakes are highly venomous foes that can be found slithering in the shadows of the Great Pyramid of Umus. Some say that their meat tastes a bit like chicken, but whenever you see a giant snake, you can be sure that their masters are about to.
Hello everybody and welcome to another video,
says Tikrit. Yes, so we're back, we're in the Tomb of Rights, and I gave you guys some time to vote on what we're going to do next. Now, my very unscientific, very poor counting of the votes seemed to think that we should do the Tomb of Offering more. But maybe there were slightly more sacrifices. I kind of like the idea of doing sacrifice first. Either way, we're probably just going to go a little bit into each in a little bit. But let's do this wing again. I suppose it's got kind of a nice symmetry in that when we were downstairs, we did the other wing first. Or I guess this is like opposite symmetry, I guess. And now this time we're doing it this way. But whatever. So yeah, we're going to check out the Tomb of Offerings today. Probably some other stuff. And see what we've got. A few of you guys mentioned it as well, the name of these creatures we're fighting in this floor. Now, this one here we're about to fight was actually on my test file, the very first one. Oh my god, what was that? What was that? That was insane. We just one-shot it. I had never done that before. Jonca, what the heck? Oh, yeah, no, I'll just play that off. Totally cool, totally casual. Yeah, that was totally the plan, guys. Absolutely. Jesus. That guy was actually the very first one I fought ever on my test file. Because I hadn't had that secret downstairs, and man, he was scary. Actually, when I first came onto the floor, he was sneaky. He was like looking through the bars here, because this is a gate you can actually see through. And he was like on the other side. I was like, oh my god, what is this? And wandering around, so creeped out. Wow, and now we're at a point where we just one-shot it? I'm sure that is just a fluke. Sadly, that is just a fluke. It's clearly not going to be so simple. There's quite a few of them that are going to be around here. But you guys mentioned very astutely, these apparently are, they're actually generic kind of fantasy races. I had no idea. Supposedly called Gorgons. Man, there's some things, because I just don't play some franchises or never really got super involved in certain franchises. Where did I put the bombs? Yeah, they're on Loto Patho. Because I didn't play certain things, like, you'd be surprised the gaps in my knowledge about fantasy races. I was never super into D&D, and there are so... I looked very briefly into, like, Pathfinder lore and stuff at one point when I was trying to play Pathfinder that ultimately really wasn't very fun, and I don't know how much to blame the DM or just the experience of it or whatever. But when I did that, I learned about all these new races that I'd never really encountered in fantasy games before, because I'm not too like familiar, especially with Warcraft lore, and because so many people play WoW and stuff. Like, there were a lot of things that I only recently started learning about and getting familiar with, like stuff like Murlocs, right? Everyone knows what a Murloc is in theory. I had no idea until very, very recently. Anyway, we've got another Gorgon. Repeat performance, Jonca? Nope, this time he missed. I think we actually want to get some more accuracy for him. In all seriousness, I think it would be super useful. Wait, I thought we were doing the Tomb of Offerings. Oh, I guess this is the Tomb of Offerings. In my mind, I think of this as the Tomb of Sacrifice, because the puzzle you're going to complete here actually involves... Oh, damn. That's an interesting sort of quirk of that ability, I suppose. I don't want to fight him over the trapdoor, because, or at least fire arrows, because they'll fall down there. One more. Miss again. That's fine. Yeah, in my head, I guess I sort of think of this as the Tomb of Sacrifice, because we have to sacrifice a lot of items, as you're going to see in a second. But no, this is the Tomb of Offering. Fine. There we go. The Gorgon's dead. What was that? That sounded like there was a spider or something behind us. Maybe that was just Tikrit being a bit of a complainer. So we're going to kind of have an interesting room here. Honestly, this I ended up YouTubing on my test file to figure out how to get through it. I don't know. Maybe it should have seemed obvious. I thought it was like some kind of a play on the things we were doing in a previous episode when we were downstairs and we were, you know, offering things in various places to open doors. Well, I thought this was something of a repeat, but like I'd have to go somewhere else on the floor to know what to put on these, right? Because if you put something on, it doesn't seem to do anything, right? Maybe if you listen very carefully. No, even when you listen really carefully, it doesn't seem to do anything. So I very quickly just left the room and then got very curious about how it actually worked. Well, we do, of course, have a trapdoor here we can climb down. And this one isn't so scary. I guess we just end up in this kind of square room. Now, this is where I think the devs must have had a lot of fun. I mean, as a person, I probably wouldn't find it very fun. I'd find it incredibly confusing and difficult and complicated. But they must have had a lot of fun, because this is a dungeon where we're going up. And everything has to line up, you know, between the two floors. So if you find any trapdoors on the second floor, they're taking you into new areas that slot beautifully into the previous floor plan. And this was really cool to me to see that there was this whole room like this, just sealed off around areas we were before, and they perfectly had that available. I think it's really cool. And you'll notice stuff like that a lot, how it just surprisingly slots you in somewhere from the previous floor, and then you'll realize there was this whole chunk you never saw before. And it's actually got multiple floors beyond even the one, the floor 2 that we've gone to now, so like the way it just like dominoes on top of each other like that is really, really cool. Anyway, there is nothing in here. There's nothing. Just the bombs to pick up and a teleporter that takes us back up. So how does this tomb work? Well, if we drop a bunch of stuff across these, and I hope this works. I hope I haven't missed something, some prerequisite. It was a few days ago I played this now. If we do this, you'll actually notice stuff has started to change. And in fact, this is a bit of a play on a puzzle we did before, where downstairs we were getting through, we had to like, you know, put pressure on a pressure pad and it would affect multiple different trapdoors. So by putting weight on all of them, we create a little passage here to the side, but there's a switch there which we cannot get to, and we would just fall down. There are no secret buttons on any of these walls, and there's a door on the right which we want to get to. So the goal is, this button is going to open the door, and then we want to get to the door. So how do we do this? Well, so if we look at it kind of logically, right? What happens when we lift this arrow up? Well, it seems to have affected this one right next to us, right? In fact, it's affected the whole middle row. So we can tell now that this is basically the way it works. Pressure on this means this entire line is done. So this, if we lift this arrow up, it should open these two and close the one on the far side. Or the opposite of that. And there you go, as you can see. So, what do we want? Well, this kind of gets a bit more complicated when you consider that you've got these affecting things too. So let's just start where we can, okay? We want to get to this lever on this wall. So, currently that is closed, and we have two ways of having that open. We have this way. Okay, I guess, no, this is closed, so we want it closed, okay? So we have this, but then that, obviously, we can't get to it now anyway because of this. So, what we want to do now is come over here and lift weight off of this. Ah, but that didn't do anything. So, you might think it's really obvious. You just have weight on those three and then no weight on these, but that's not quite how it works. And so, the actual trick to the whole puzzle is you kind of have to place some objects in the middle of your route. So, I can't really remember the exact configuration here. What we need to do is perhaps have that one there, and then is it this one over here we want to lift? Which opens all of these up. Yeah, I think this is the configuration we want. And now, if I'm correct, we've got access to pretty much everything except the switch over there, right? So what we want to do... no, hold on. I think this is what we want. We want to put one on here now. Okay. And then what we want to do is we've got access to everything except that one panel. Now, we lift this up, which does that, yeah. It doesn't plummet you to your death. You can pull the lever and open the door. It's pretty clever, right? And we're going to leave all of that in limbo as it is for now. I'm also going to save it. Not because I'm particularly scared about dying, but because if I do die, it's going to be a pain to figure that out again. I don't actually have it 100% committed to memory. So what have we got? What's our prize for figuring out this puzzle? Well, cool little area. We get a torch. May as well replace every opportunity you get. We get a key. Ah, it's a tomb key. And, of course, we got a Gorgon has come to us straight away. And some mummies. So the scary thing about the mummies here are that they box you in and then the Gorgons can petrify you. Now, if you've got a bunch of what are they called? Potions that cure diseases, right? Then you're actually going to be okay. Thankfully, he never managed to petrify us at all. But I definitely recommend hiding yourself somewhere. So we'll break this as well to give ourselves a bit of freedom of movement. Hiding yourself somewhere where only one Gorgon can actually attack you. Oh, God, that was not what I intended to do. Because otherwise, these guys are going to be, like, A-boxing you in, but one will petrify you from behind while nailing you with arrows, while the other one is just doing straight up lots of damage to you. It's just not pleasant. Tick crit is incredibly low. I guess he was in the front line the whole time, which isn't ideal. He's not as tanky as Jonca anymore. Oh my god, and so is Lotopatho. Okay, as long as nothing comes up behind us, we'll be okay. We're out of energy for that. We're probably out of energy for that. No. Come on, shoot. Oh, thank god. Oh, those are scary moments where, you know, you just gotta pummel them as hard as possible. Wow, we're low. Okay, I guess this calls for some potions. I mean, Jonca's already got one, so there you go. You can have one for Tick Crit. He deserves it. I mean, Christ, he's doing all the alchemy here. And this will probably be one of our very last regular potions we brew in the series. Because Tick Crit's going to level up his alchemy pretty soon. As you can see, he's already nearly level 9 at the moment. And when he does that, we'll get another point in alchemy. We'll go up to level 4 and we can brew stronger stuff like those greater potions we found some of. So, what have we got here? Well, the rooms that release enemies, this one in particular doesn't have anything, but there is a shield over in this one. Pretty cool. I don't know what I'm doing with shields at the moment, guys. I really don't know what I'm doing with shields. This is a pearl shield. It gives you evasion +5 and energy +25. The polished surface of this shield resembles that of a pearl. I mean, in theory, now that Jonca is good with light armor and he has positive evasion, it is very much worthwhile to put it on Jonca. So he's got this badass two-handed poleaxe, which he's wielding in one hand, and this cool shield. My only issue then is, like, who then holds the torch? Sanon? I guess Sanon can hold the torch. Yeah, sure, because he doesn't really need the skull thing. Alright, that's fine. Okay, maybe I do know what I'm doing with the shields. Okay, we'll feed some guys some food as well. Here we go, guys. Look, you don't have to complain about starving. I'm beginning to loosen up my iron grip when it comes to food. Please, sir, please may I have some more? No. And that's about it, I guess. Is that really it? I thought there was so much more in this side of the tomb. I thought both branches had so much more. Maybe I'm thinking about the next area. I'm probably thinking about the next area. Here, though, we can see there are 4 more cannonballs. Again, onto Jonca, so there's now 8 there. Worth hauling around for now, at least. Put in the vault at some point, I suppose. Oh, yeah, and so back in this room, a bunch of enemies have been released. These long kind of winding corridors we took to get here, like you notice, it is kind of crazy, have just released a bunch of mobs, so you do want to be cautious of that. But here, actually, we don't need to pull that switch again, do we? Can we just put an arrow down? And yeah, we'll be able to walk back through. Can be kind of precarious. I think I had a slightly different configuration for the puzzle on my previous file. I dropped all of those arrows, did I? Oh, do you know what you could do? We could do this. We are... Oh, no, that didn't quite work. Okay, hold on. I didn't mean to drop the whole stack. I only wanted to drop one. When he stands here we go. Here we go. Go on. You know you want to fight us, mummies. You know you want to fight us. There we go. Yeah, down they go. I don't know whether they're going to die down there or not. I would guess they take full damage just like us, and probably, depending on their health, they survive or not. Should we go down and have a look? I guess we can. I mean, that teleport is a nice way to get back up anyway, right? So here we go. Let's see if we can find the mummies. Now, there is... Oh, there you go. They're still alive. Hopefully a little bit low, but they are still alive. So there is an achievement as well. I talked about it in some of the earlier episodes where we have to go through a teleporter and kill someone on the other side. There's an easy opportunity for that early in the game, which I didn't get on the series for you guys, which maybe we'll have a look at later. But I'm sort of keeping my eye out for those opportunities. Anyway, so now you can reclaim all your stuff. A lot of people use, like, instead of arrows, as I've tended to start doing, a lot of people prefer to use scrolls and other miscellaneous junk that you end up getting, you know, like the kind of stuff that Sanon's just got held onto, which is also just as good. But I mean, I feel like personally we have enough arrows that it's, you know, it's pretty trivial anyway. In here, I thought we got a secret then, but in fact the message was Tikrit is starving. There's also nothing. Okay, that's fine. I don't think we're out of the woods yet though, because as I say, all the way along this hallway, I think new stuff has opened up, in theory. Was this one of the little cubby holes that enemies came out of? And they all end up flooding in. I found it hard to sort of get a read on the AI in this game, like whether they actually... Oh my god, wow. Okay, hello. I didn't see you there. I found it really hard to get a read and know whether they can tell enemies to walk in certain directions or whether they always just wander around randomly. It's like hard to find evidence of it, I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll use an antidote there. Did I really not just come in here before? I knew there was more to the wing, but... Was I just silly enough? Oh, yes! Okay, cool. So, we come into a room like this, and it seems like it's an empty room. It seems like there's nothing really going on. Cast your minds back to the last floor, where we had this note saying the mirror gauntlets. A gift for Burl the Hedonist. His bloated remains needed 6 vessels. The eternity welcomes him. Aha! So, at last, the mirror gauntlets will be used for something. This is one of those, like, special secrets in the game. I don't think it's particularly difficult to get, but whatever. In here, you find a ton of stuff. So, we got a lot of food. Salami here, or salted sausage, I suppose. Man, the salted sausage in this game makes me really want to eat sausage. Loads of bread, loads of stuff. Some cheese for Tikrit, who is hungry for it. Yeah, that was all planned. It totally wasn't planned. We get 2 potions of vitality. And I guess I'll give these both to Jonca again. Keep his health just pumping up. Because again, Loto Patho feels fine for now. Alright, so he's all the way up at 145 health now, which is good. Still only just like above Loto Patho, crazily. Which really does surprise me, but okay. He's got such a weird mix of gear on as well. What's with the embalmer shoes? But also here we find something called blueberry pie. Now the blueberry pie was a special food you could get in a secret in the first game. Must be some kind of in-joke reference, whatever, among the devs or something, I don't know. But when you pick this up, you do actually get an achievement. It's just for finding the blueberry pie in the game, and I think the achievement on this says you must eat it. It actually gives you max nutrition, which I think means it's the best food in the game, but it's also unique. It is one of a kind. So we'll give that to someone when they're absolutely starving. I am a little curious as to what this does when you give it to a farmer. It'd be really cool if it gave you tons of experience, but the experience gain doesn't necessarily scale with the nutritional value of food, so we'll leave that there. But yeah, what a cool secret. And, of course, you can get your mirror gauntlets back. It's not like you actually have to sacrifice anything. It just closes the door once again, and you're pretty much good. And now I feel pretty much content we've seen everything. There is going to be another cubbyhole, wherever that cobra came from, that king cobra. Wherever he was released. Unless we just somehow missed him and just walked past him. Yeah, here you go. This is probably where he came from. Alright, and no secret buttons there. And so we're done. I will go back to the save crystal. And that's the tomb of offerings. If that was what offerings are like, what do you guys think sacrifice is like? Now, as I've said, there's some very dangerous stuff on this floor. And I'm pretty sure we're going to start to see some of the most crazy of it here in the Tomb of Sacrifice. That'll be next episode, guys. We're going to get an incredible, amazing weapon. Jonca's not going to be using this poleaxe for very long, I'll tell you that much, as spoilery as that is. I guess we'll grab that when we grab it. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.